I think I'm on. Hello, Facebook world. Hello, friends. And today is day 17 of my live video challenge. And I am bringing a special guest. Her name is Nikii Syme, if I'm pronouncing that properly. And she's my love coach. Hey, I never knew that the love coach existed until not long ago. And just trying to figure out if she's watching. I've sent invite Nicola. Let me know if you can see one. Otherwise I have to do it again. Yes, so Nicola is my love coach and I want to have a chat with her about love, relationships, self-love, and we'll just go with the flow. No invite, okay. Let me see what I can do. Add. Let's just be patient. Yes, she's coming on.
Hello.
Yay! Oh, got you finally.
Yeah, that was easy.
Hi,
Easy peasy.
beautiful.
How are you?
I'm good. A little bit nervous.
Yeah, is this your first joint live?
No, it's my second one, but
Exciting.
yeah, but I'm just excited as well. So
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
And you got
So
your new
I was
AirPods
just
in? Were they new?
yes, yes. And I almost
Lovely.
forgot to put them on. I forgot I had them on. And it's so useful because I have to charge my phone while I'm doing this. And
Yeah,
with the other
I have
headphones,
that
I would have
problem.
to have that. Yeah. Awesome.
Mm.
No echo, which is great start.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, so we decided we're going to go with the flow. We're going to flow together.
Yeah, just have a jam session.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like to start with you
Mm.
introducing yourself and
Mm.
telling us a little bit about what are you doing? Like, what is love coach all about? Love coaching all about? Like, I haven't had no idea that there are people around who can teach you how to, love yourself and help you with the relationships this way, rather
Mm.
than just psychologists or relationship counseling and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think other people will find the same, that you know we're very curious, what does love coach do, and maybe a little bit of your story and how you came about doing that.
Sure. And yeah, there's not many of us around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nikki, and as Sylvia has said, I am a love coach. So I work with women. I really am about empowering women in love to ensure that you are, or they are able to attract in the kind of love that they desire. So it's a real focus on self and really building that beautiful relationship with self to be able to attract in from that space. My experience was I kept talking to women who kept just repeating these same patterns over and over again in relationships and were bashing their head up against walls as to why this kept happening. And so what I do is we go in and we start shifting the stuff within, the internal stuff, to actually bring about a different experience. So like I said, massive focus on self and really connecting back to self and what we're actually doing on the inside in regards to beliefs, thought patterns, the energy that we're creating internally to attract in those kind of relationships and those experiences time after time after time. And what often happens is that, like, I love psychologists and hi Natasha,
Hi,
psychiatrists and all
Tash.
of those like counselors, but often they only work in the cognitive areas of the body. They don't actually tap into the somatics of creating the shifts. So what I do is combine the two, cognitive, somatic, to bring about massive results that actually see you experiencing something completely different. And it's amazing. It's so good. It's so
Well,
fulfilling. So much fun.
yeah, I bet. So how did you end up being a love coach? What happened? Because there's always
So
a story.
yes, yes. So I actually was that woman, the woman that I speak about now. I was the
Mm.
woman who kept experiencing the same relationship dramas, the same issues. I would keep attracting the same kind of men. If I came out and did work on myself and then managed to attract in a guy from a higher vibrational state, I would very quickly sabotage it because I had these deep-seated beliefs that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't lovable, that men were assholes. So I had some really crazy, unserving patterns and stories going through my mind and my being, which led me to creating these experiences. And it was my final relationship that I got into after. So I was with this beautiful man, and I had gone away to the States, and I cheated on him while I was away. So he was amazing, Mr. Amazing on paper, all perfect. And there was something missing for me that I wasn't willing to acknowledge, because everyone was like, he's so amazing, he's so amazing. And I knew he wasn't right for me. But rather than actually stepping in and going, this isn't right for me, and ending it, I chose to sabotage and hurt and cheated on him while I was away. And anyway, I came back. We tried to make it work for a while, and he was willing to forgive and move through it. And I just kept sabotaging because I now had this even like bigger belief on myself that I was even more unworthy of love because I'd done this to him. So what happened was yeah, absolutely. So I threw myself into training for a half Ironman. And when I came out of that, what often happens is when you train for really big events like that, you get this high and then you have this come down because it's like, oh, what now? And it's like this adrenaline rush and all these endorphins, and then boof, you can often come crashing down. And what happened is I fell into a relationship, a really toxic relationship where he was just not good for me at all. And I knew what I was doing. I knew that I was subconsciously, or not even subconsciously, because I was so aware of what I was doing while I was in it. And I kept choosing to remain in it. So I was punishing myself for what I had done to Jared because this is what I believed I now deserved. And it was like I was kind of outside of my body, watching in, like looking down and watching what was going on and just going, how long are you going to do this to yourself, Nick? Like, how long are you going to keep playing this game? And I was really lucky to have a beautiful friend who just slapped me one day, really, and not like actually, but just said the things to me that I needed to hear, which kind of woke me up and was like, far out, I really need to get out of this. And that was my catalyst for change on a massive scale, and set me into my journey of coming back to self and reconnecting and rebuilding myself from the inside, to then 7.5 months later attract in a beautiful, incredible man in this amazing relationship. So yeah, that's my story of how I got into it. Yeah, and I just decided, like, I was like, wow, this is really important. And what I learned in that 7 months and what I implemented and how I created the shifts for myself, I was like, everyone needs to know this stuff. Like, it's such really simple and powerful tools to create change, and actually lasting change, not that superficial change.
So what are some of the things that you did in the 7 months, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, cool. So it was really very much about reconnecting to who I was and gaining a lot more clarity around, you know, what was important to me, what made me happy, what do I stand for, who am I when I'm just being, when I removed all the labels, because I had no idea. And that was the thing, I was constantly seeking validation outside of myself because I so desperately wanted to be loved, but then I had no idea who I was or what I was actually looking for. So I just kept trying things on, like just trying things on for size, going, oh, well, maybe he is, or maybe he's not the right one, and just playing with that and essentially wasting time. So yeah, it was really like there was a lot of meditation.
So reassessing your values, basically. Good.
Absolutely.
Reassessing your values.
Yeah, gaining total clarity on yes, on values, listing the things that I actually believe I am to be, like when I'm just being, when I remove the labels of mum, daughter, partner, whatever, who am I when I'm just being at my core characteristics and my core personal traits. You know, I'm loving, I'm kind, I'm fun, I'm caring. But these things that I just neglected for so long and forgotten about myself. There was a lot of time being in nature, a lot of time meditating, dating myself, like and starting to treat
Awesome.
myself in the way that I wanted to be treated, to build that loving relationship with me first, to then be able to attract someone in as a bonus. And that was when I knew I was ready to find love, was because it wasn't coming from a space of desperation or need anymore. I was so okay with being alone that I knew, had I been alone for the rest of my life, I would have been okay with that. And that's when I knew that I was ready to really be with someone. Yeah, absolutely. To be so comfortable in your own company and not have that fear attached to it, or because often it's that fear and that desperation that we're so desperately seeking someone outside of ourselves to fill us up and make us feel safe and loved. And that is a repellent. Like, it's not a healthy space to be in.
Yeah, and yeah, we will attract someone that we are ready for only, right? So if you are ready for only for someone who is treating you a certain way, that's what will happen, because you're treating yourself way.
Yeah, and it's how you're embodying love as well. Like, if you've got this list of things that you want a man to do for you, well, are you actually doing that for yourself? You want him to buy you flowers. Are you buying yourself flowers? You want him to take you out for dinners. Are you taking yourself out for dinners? And it's really about embodying the kind of love and relationship that you want to experience with a partner, and creating that with yourself first. And then you can attract that in. But if you're not willing to actually step up for yourself and show up for yourself, then how can you expect anyone else to?
Yes, it makes so much sense when you speak about it, but you know, like average Joe, average Sylvia would never think about it on my own.
Yeah.
Like, we get so stuck
But
in our heads, not
you're not alone
understanding
in
the
that,
basics
though.
of human nature. Yeah, exactly.
And there's so
So that's
many
why I'm
women out there that
spreading
are
the
like that.
word, because it's so powerful. Yeah.
It really
I'm
is.
already seeing progress. So we've been doing this for 4 weeks now, is it? You've been my love coach for
Yes.
4 weeks. And
Yes.
how we met, actually, that I was gonna say that in the beginning, but I just forgot. So Nicola and I, we attended the Bridge Experience and the Extreme Leadership course or workshop in Brisbane, November. And there was like 108 people, I think, attending. So we haven't met everyone in person, I suppose, but you know, you connected with certain people during the workshop, and some of them were the group that you were working with. But Nicola and I, we actually haven't worked in the group. We just met in a bathroom, and I believe that meeting people, you know, it's just the universe pulling us
Bringing
certain
us
direction
together.
and towards certain people, and you might not know at the time. And yeah, we just had a quick chat about breastfeeding, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you were admiring my breastfeeding sport top. I was like, yeah.
Yes. It had a leopard print, which I really love at the moment. Yeah, and then yeah, we became friends on Facebook, and I saw your video or interview with Matt about what you do, and it really struck a chord with me when you were talking about your experience in sabotaging the relationship. I'm like, oh my fucking God, excuse my French, this is totally me. I need this woman. So I messaged you straight away, and I said, what the hell are you doing? How can you help me?
Yes.
So yeah, and that's how we went on this path, and it's been a really great journey so far. I'm being so more aware
Yeah, and
of
I can even
things,
see the shifts in you already. It's amazing. It's so beautiful to see.
yeah, thank you. It's a process, and thank you for you know, allowing me to interview you and just spread the word, because as I said, I didn't have a clue that you can seek this help, and there's people that, you know, can help us to love ourselves. Like, I'm already in a relationship, and you know, I've been sabotaging our relationship one way or the other, and you know, like, I never realized, you know, and I have this good thing, and I'm just sabotaging it because I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't love myself. I'm not worthy of my husband, who is amazing, and you know, and that is changing now. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. And And that's the thing, like,
So,
that so many people do that and don't realize that sabotage, and it can show up in the most discreet ways, you know, from the resentment that you carry towards your partner for not doing something because you're not doing that for yourself. And that was a lesson I learned probably about a year ago, actually, with Gary. Is like I had my plate piled so high with stuff to do. We had 2 kids, a newborn. I was just like washing and cleaning and just putting so much pressure on myself to have all of it done and all my shit together. And then Gary would come home and lie on the couch and watch TV, and I was getting so fucked off with him, like, the fuck, you know, this is bullshit, and carrying so much resentment. And I was like, what is actually going on here? And I took myself out of the situation and went and just really checked in. It was like, far out. I'm carrying resentment towards him because he's making time for himself, and I'm not choosing to do that for myself. And that's me. That's entirely my responsibility. So from that moment, I made a decision to make time for myself. And what do you know? The resentment disappeared. So it's really like, I'm huge on that whole radical self-responsibility, really owning, like taking ownership for what it is that's going on inside of you. Because yes, what he was doing was triggering me, but it was still my shit. And this is what so many people do not understand or don't realize, is that, yes, sure, something that someone may do may piss you off, but it always comes back to you. It's not what they're doing. It's not about what they're doing, unless they're like violently hitting you or treating you like physically, mentally, emotionally really messed up. And even then, there's still a part in you that's accepting that. So it's really taking that ownership and really tapping in and going, okay, so what part am I playing in this? Why is this actually triggering me? What's actually really going on here?
Yeah, that's the thing that I learned at the workshops we did. Like, I never even look at that way. And now, definitely when something is really triggering me, I'm like, oh, why? And it's so hard to look inside yourself, you know?
Definitely.
Like,
especially when you're so used to just pointing the finger and being the victim and
fingers
blaming everyone else.
Yes, exactly. But it's definitely eye-opening, and it's definitely helping in the relationship. That's for sure. I was telling you the other day that I had a little bit of fight with Andrew. It was just really explosion because I am people pleaser, which I find out. I wouldn't figure out myself. And and I do not raise issues and talk about emotional stuff and what is coming up for me, because I don't want to cause the fight. I don't want to make him feel bad, or, you know, and then I'm like, oh, okay, doesn't matter. And then eventually it kind of accumulates in me. Yeah, denying my truth. And that actually stays in my body anyway. And then one day when it's too much, it kind of explodes. And for me, normally would explode when I had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
And and I would just came out with it, and he would be like, what the hell?
Where did that come from? Because he's thinking everything's fine, and you're just like boiling and boiling and boiling because you're suppressing all this emotion and these feelings and these thoughts that are coming up for you until you explode.
So that happened,
and that happens so often.
Yeah, that happened not long ago. And then, you know, and then I started thinking after I came down, and the same night I was like, oh, why did I just, why have I done this just then? Like, what the heck? Why? And then, I realized, because I felt some kind of resentment at first, and I didn't bring it up. And then it just kind of all got too much. So the lesson in this is to speak your truth and express yourself. And, you know, just if something comes up, just share it with your partner so it doesn't go too overboard. And then, you know, lucky he's a very patient man, and he loves me, so he doesn't like to pick a fight, so he would just kind of let me be. But imagine if there was someone that is on the same page as me and you know, practice, and that's so, you know,
and
like,
that's it. And it's that
we don't,
it's that stepping into that space really vulnerably too. So I used to believe that vulnerability was the times when I would fly off the handle and I'd be over emotional. I'd be screaming and storming out and slamming doors. And that was what I used to believe that vulnerability was, until I realized that ain't vulnerability. That's total reaction, like total reaction mode. But when you can step into that space of vulnerability where you get triggered, you look at yourself and go, wow, okay, what's coming up for me? And then you express that to your partner and say, hey, babe, like when you did this, this is what it made me feel. And I'm committed to shifting this, and I would love your support in this way. That is powerful, and that creates a beautiful, loving space. Because I guarantee, you know, if you're going at them, you did this and you did this and you did this and it's your fault. If they were doing that to you, you would just be like, I don't think so, mate. See ya. Like, you wouldn't put up
exactly.
with it.
It's an attack mode. No one will
And you
be
shut
attacked.
down.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So it's
so
really,
learning
when you
that, it's been huge.
massive, stepping into that vulnerability and allowing yourself to be seen in that way without it meaning anything about you, without labeling it like I'm weak or bad or wrong. Just allowing yourself to be human and express your humanness from a space of love.
Yes. Love that.
So powerful. Yeah.
So powerful. So powerful. And I would like to. Sorry, go on.
Oh, and I was just going to add that, you know, the way that they respond to you when you do that too is completely different. Like, they're willing to actually sit and talk to you and work through that stuff with you, as opposed to just being like, go away. Like, I don't have time for this.
Yes. I don't think sometimes, you know, like if you feel like your partner doesn't like to talk about certain things, you've got to be the first one, make the first step. Like, so in our relationship, for example, it'd be the opposite. Andrew would want to talk more about what's happening and getting to the bottom of things and talking about emotions and stuff like that. And I'll be the one that, no, I'm not ready.
No, I'm not doing
calm down. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like a pattern with me. So I would, I never dealt well with emotions, hence the drinking. And I never want to talk because, you know, deep down, I need to look into myself, and I didn't probably like what I see. And so that prevented me from communicating and being open. And I, you know, seriously, I thought our relationship was amazing because I had two bad relationships where we would fight and scream and you know, there was violence and tears and all this kind of thing, and where Andrew and I hardly ever fight. And I thought, we are good. So why the hell I'm kind of running away?
Yeah.
You know? And
because you're not willing to,
like,
you haven't been willing to go there.
Yeah. And when you think it's like with everything in life, so the saying is, you know, a killer of a great life is a good life, or something like that. So if you have something good, you know, you sort of like complacent, and you can have great relationship, for example, you know, if you believe in that and if you're willing to work on it. So it all depends on your beliefs and self-love as well. And if you think you deserve better, and, you know, we can always improve on everything in our lives. So.
But even for you, like you said, you had a good relationship, yet you were still trying to sabotage. Because you still weren't being true to yourself, and you weren't allowing yourself to experience how great it could be. And that happens a lot.
Yeah. Yes. And, you know, as I said, there's always room for improvement. And and I would love to do the retreat with you. So I want to ask you about the retreat. Maybe some of my friends here would be interested. I would love to do it. I can't do it, unfortunately. So tell us about that. What's that all about? If someone wants to
retreat.
It's not a love boat.
No, not the love boat.
Byron Bay.
Yeah, it is. It's a hinterland though, so it's not near the water, so there's no boats involved. There is a swimming pool though. It looks amazing. So the Love Retreat, Rise and Love Retreat, is happening in February from the 14th to the 17th. It is a journey back to self. There will be so much celebration and fun, and with other amazing women who are, you know, really looking to heal and let go of the stuff that's really holding themselves back, to really face off in a powerful way. One-on-one is amazing. I've got some incredible women coming to support and facilitate workshops. So it's really about connecting back to self, honoring self, nurturing self, releasing, and then stepping really passionately and powerfully into self-love. And, you know, we'll be doing meditation, we'll be doing yoga, we'll be reconnecting back with our bodies. There's so much stuff lined up. It's going to be incredible. Self-love workshops, all the feels. So it's a beautiful opportunity if you're feeling like you just want to reconnect with self a bit. You feel like you've been lost yourself in your relationship possibly, or you keep attracting these kind of relationships that aren't serving you, and you just really want to come home to you. Then it would be perfect, absolutely perfect for you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be so divine. I can't wait.
Exciting. So
and it's
when is that?
Spots. The 14th.
When is that starting?
14th of February.
14th February.
Yes.
In Byron Bay.
February.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
If anyone's interested, send Nicola a message.
I'll pop the link in the bio as well for anyone to check it out.
Please. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for today.
Did anyone watching have any questions?
Oh, yes.
Hi, Elisa.
Good idea.
My sister's
Anyone
on.
got
I
questions? Sophie, Mackenzie, Natasha, do you have any questions? You've been watching from the start, but
is it raining up your way today, or is it calmed down?
No. It was actually good. Yesterday a little bit. I was about to go for a walk and it started raining, but no, not today. Pretty muggy though. Pretty muggy.
Yeah, it is very, very humid. It is very humid.
What in Brisbane too?
It really stormed last night, like massively stormed, and then today it's just kind of been partly cloudy. I will actually add, so I did have an early bird for the retreat up until the 31st of December, and I know how hectic and crazy it was, so I've actually extended it to, I think it was the 13th. So there's still an option for early bird there if anyone wants to jump in and get amongst that. Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, Sandy.
That was amazing. Speaking my language. But no questions. Thank you. Amazing. Beautiful.
No worries. Sandy, rewatch it later, babe. You will love this. Okay.
All right, my love.
Thank you so much for jumping on, Nicola. I really appreciate that, sharing with us. And I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, you will. If not before.
Yes. Sure. Okay.
Bye everybody.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on my day 18.
Amazing.
Nicola is incredible. So if anybody's on the fence about the retreat, just jump in.
Into it. Yeah. That's my beautiful, beautiful sister. She's experienced my work. I love you. Thank you, goddess.
Awesome.
I am amazing.
You are. Thank you, love.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.